Hey everyone, so I mentioned before that this month I was going to film some videos to share with you guys my planning process from beginning to end. And the last two videos I filmed for you were number one, sharing my planning essentials, and then number two, how I incorporate digital planning into my regular paper planning and how those two work together in my planning system. And now I'm going to start filming the videos where I show you how I actually plan my month, week, and days and projects. This is like my third or fourth time filming because I did try to do like a step-by-step plan on camera for you guys, but it's really challenging. I'm not able to do that right now, so I went ahead and planned my October just as I normally would, and now I'm just going to share with you the different parts of my planning. Maybe in future videos I can do more of a step-by-step where I plan on camera. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, for now I'm just going to show you in this way where I already planned everything, and I'm just going to share with you guys how I did it. But I will try to go into detail, so these will be split up. Today I'm going to cover my monthly planning, and then I'll save like weekly and daily for the next videos, so I can show you guys a little bit in detail of how I do this. So I shared in my last video about digital planning that I use my iPad mini, and I do have, this is like, I believe the 5, and it's the one where you can use the Apple Pencil. And I shared with you guys that I use this app, which is called Notability, and I use it mainly as taking notes and brainstorming and pre-planning. So this is the part where I have pre-planning. I call this my master plan here, and then I have it broken down into goals, monthly, weekly, and daily. So what I write in here is basically the process that I use for setting my goals, for monthly planning, for weekly planning, and for daily planning. So like for today, I'm going to show you my monthly planning. In here shows the steps that I use as I plan my month. So here I always have the top 3 goals. I'll show you really quickly in this goals section. I always have these like top 3 priorities, which is wellness, family, and business. And then I have daily, weekly, and monthly steps to reach those goals. So for wellness, it's like lose some weight. For family, it's like create memories and also record memories. And then for the business, it's a dollar amount for our revenue. I kind of erased that because it's private, but and then these are the steps I use for my daily, weekly, and monthly planning. So today I'm going to show you guys the monthly. So if you can see here for my top 3 priorities, for wellness, I have a monthly health habit. For family, I have monthly celebrations. And for business, I have monthly new product. So if I go here to my monthly, I just transferred those goals here. So my monthly goals are health habit, family celebrations, and new product. So it's just front and center every time I plan. And then down here is like the process. So first I set up my personal calendar, then I go through some other calendars, and then a couple of miscellaneous tasks, and I'll show you just in a second. And then I showed this last time before, but this is, so as I'm planning my month, this is mainly business because it gets a lot more detailed, but I break down my month into weeks, week 1, 2, 3, and 4, and what needs to get done that week. It just helps me kind of spread out my workload so it's not all bundled together, but also to make sure that nothing slips through the cracks. And then down here is a shop calendar, just like things I want to do each month in the shop. And at the bottom is for the family, so like our immediate family birthday celebrations or vacations or holidays, I just note it here. So when I'm planning my month, like planning October, of course we have Halloween and my husband's birthday, which actually just passed. So this is what I use to guide me as I'm planning for my month. So then here in my planner, I have a month, week, and day tab. And in the month tab, I have just my year at a glance, because here I do like track my cycle usually. I just put some of these inserts are like fresh inserts, so they don't have anything on them. But usually I track my cycle here, and it's on a monthly basis. That's why this is in my monthly section. And then I mentioned before that I'm in the Giglio Campagna Slim, so the rings are really tiny, so I can only fit a little bit of paper in there. So I only keep 1 month at a time in here for the monthly spreads. So since I only have 1 month, October right now, then this important dates insert is good for if I need to jot down anything, like I need to remember in December to take care of some insurance stuff. So I just jot that down right there. So I use this kind of like to jot down things for future months that I don't have the insert in here yet. Hopefully that makes sense. Then I have my monthly insert. Today is actually what's the date? Today's Friday or Saturday, October 26th. These inserts just launched today. So by the time you watch this video, which hopefully will be tomorrow, Sunday the 27th, these will already be in the shop. So if you're interested in them, you can purchase them right away. So this monthly insert is in the shop. This is the monthly one. The ones in the shop, actually, I should say, are for 2020, so January through December. So this is October. It's a month on 4 pages. The first page is like an overview. Then you have the monthly spread. And then the back page is kind of a notes for, you can use it however you like. So this is how I use it. So like I said, here in my iPad, I have my monthly goals. And then I have a space here for monthly goals. And I have 1, 2, 3, just like here. 1, 2, 3. So my first monthly goal for wellness is a health habit. So my monthly goal for this month is no junk food, or less junk food, significantly less junk food, which I'm not doing very good at, but it's good to have it here to keep trying. And then number 2 is family celebrations. So one thing I wanted to make sure that I don't forget is take the girls to the pumpkin patch. And then 3 is new product, and I just completed that today actually, which is launching a new product, and it was our inserts. So I always put my top 3 goals here according to these 3 priorities, and just put it like a goal for those categories here for the month. So this is for the month of October. And then down here is really just a task list. And I just split it up into personal and biz, and I'm using these headers. I actually sell headers in the shop. These ones are actually personal to my planning. I just made these for myself because these are the specific headers that I need. And right now I think I have like a sampler sheet of headers, but I wanted to add more headers for you guys to be able to customize your inserts just like I'm doing here. So I split my task list up into personal and biz. And so basically what this is these are my goals, but down here is like my bucket list of things that I would like to get done this month, but not super high priority. So like researching, you know, getting a water service, getting a meal service, looking into gymnastics for my daughter. And then down here I kind of covered this with a sticky note because it's private, but any tasks that I would like to get done this month for the business I'll put here. So that's how I use this first page. And then for the spread, this is new. I added a section down here. For those of you who bought my inserts before, this used to be just all the calendar, but I shortened the calendar a little bit and added a space down here because I thought the space is really useful. I'm using it for this month and next month kind of things, but you can use it for, you know, thick bottom washi just for decoration. You can use it for notes, or you can use it for like a quote. I thought would be really cute too. Like I said, I like to use it for this month and next month. So I'll explain that in just a second. Let me start from here. So in this left-hand column is a very lightly grayed out column, and I use these kind of icon stickers that you can find in my shop. Not this one here, but these gray ones. So all of my icons, most of them right now are in white, gray, and a blush pink. So I use the gray for this little side column, and I just use these icons for different things. So the first one is for health, and then I just put projects for these different categories. So every month I always use these categories, and then underneath I put whatever projects I'm going to be working on for the entire month. So for health, I'm working on coming up with menu options for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my family. This little eyelash icon is for like self-care, and I want to like research some skincare products because I just need to. My skin's been suffering lately, so I'm trying to find some products to help it. The heart is for family, or like, yeah, family or personal projects, and I'm working on a study plan for my 11-year-old daughter. We need to get like on some kind of like routine. And then this here is a temporary sticker. It's actually a book, but I need to create like a planner sticker or some other kind of sticker. I think I did have some stickers I could use, but they weren't in gray yet, so I just kind of put this book to like symbolize a planner. So this is for the business, and I just need to work on some tax stuff. And then this coffee thing is for my new project that some of you might have heard of, called Salmon Co. And so if you follow on Instagram, we're at Hello Sam and Co on Instagram, and that's just basically the personal side of TPS, of the Planner Spot. So it's like the behind the scenes, sharing, you know, the life of being, you know, running your own business, and people that motivate me and inspire me, and things that motivate me, inspire me, and just sharing that kind of stuff behind the scenes. So that's Salmon Co. And so I launched it this month, or I introduced it this month, and I want to work on building it up some more. So that's what I use this gray column for, just for projects that I want to work on throughout the entire month. You can use it for different things, projects that you're working on week by week is another idea I had, or if you just want to number your weeks. I know some people like to keep track of the week number, so you can just put the week numbers in here. And then this section here, I mentioned in my tech and paper video, the last video, that I put all my appointments and due dates and stuff on my iPad, on my Google Calendar. So everything is there, appointments, birthdays, meetings, due dates, and stuff like that. But specific ones I put in this spread, and really what it is anything that I have to plan for. So I need to see it laid out so I know how much time I have for these certain things. So anything I have to plan for goes in here. For instance, like a fundraiser thing that I have to raise money for, a trip, my husband's birthday, Halloween. I also just marked my cycle. And so I don't put everything in here, just this whole spread is like project based. So at a glance, I can see what projects I have going on this month. And then down here for this month and next month, for this month, I put any events that are happening that I had to plan for. I mean, some of them are here, like my husband's birthday and Halloween, but like our anniversary is actually on November 3rd, but I can't wait until November to plan it, because obviously that will be too late. So I put it here for this month that I need to plan whatever we're gonna do for our anniversary during the month of October. And then this next month section is any things that are events that are happening the following month, so in November, that I just want to keep on my radar and maybe start planning if I have time, but just definitely keep on my radar so does it sneak up on me, because things are always sneaking up on me unless I make a note of it somewhere. So yeah, that's my monthly spread. Very simple, very minimal. I used to decorate it more, but I'm going through a phase right now where I do definitely like to use stickers, but more so icons and functional stickers. And I haven't been using the decorative stickers as much in my monthly spread, but I do use it in my weekly spread, which I'll show you in one of the next videos. So yeah, this is the monthly spread, the middle part, and then the back side is just really a blank note page, and you can make whatever you want of it. You can do like some kind of reflection on the month I've seen people do, or memory keeping or something like that. For me, I like to keep track of my sinking funds, or I'm still learning about sinking funds, but basically what I'm keeping this page for is things that I want to purchase in this month, and then the ways I'm going to come up with the money to pay for those things. It's like extra things that don't come out of our regular budget. So like, let's say for example, my husband's birthday, he takes care of our personal finances, and so since I want to keep his birthday present a surprise, I want to kind of in secret come up with the money on my own. So for example, I sold a couple of my planners to pay for his birthday celebration stuff, or the cloth and paper subscription box. I really wanted to try it out this month, and so I wanted to raise the money on my own to pay for that. And then our anniversary is coming up. So anything that's like extra out of the ordinary of our personal and business expenses, things that I just want to save up for myself, I kind of track that here and how I can come up with the money for those things. But like I said, it's pretty open to use however you want. You can use some headers, either headers from my shop or any shop, or just, you know, writing it in, whatever you want to make this functional for you. So yeah, that's how I plan my monthly spread. Then I also do monthly planning in the back. So besides my month, week, and day, I also have these tabs, which are personal, shop, and content. And I also have monthly calendars back here. So this is also in the shop right now, and it is basically, I call it project planning. And so it has a blank. This is totally blank when you get the insert, and you fill it in how you like. I decided to leave it blank with everything for those of you who like to do a Sunday start. I like to do a Monday start, so you could fill it in how you like. You could use it for any month and just fill in the dates. And then down here is a week kind of layout. So I do like to plan my weeks out in the month, like see the overview. So we have week 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sometimes there is a week 5, so I added a week 5 there. So the way I use this is I have one of these calendars for each of these categories. In personal, I use it for my daughter's schoolwork. So here I plan out any projects, due dates, tests, or anything like that that she has. I either like to map it out here, like here if you see these numbers, these are chapters in a book that she needs to finish in a book before she takes a test. So I kind of try to map it out here. And then down here, I have this custom label I made for myself that says study plan. And these are things like if she needs to study for a test, or we just need to work on the processes for her study habits, or she needs to start a new book for her class and stuff like that. So I break down her schoolwork by week. Of course, if there's a test or a project, I'll write down what weeks we're going to work on it. But if there's a week where there's nothing, then I just use it as extra studying. So that's the front part. And then the back part of that, I use this section. This is actually tasks. So when you get this insert, it's tasks, so it has checklist for tasks and then bottom part for notes. But I just put this little sticky note above because I use this for logging some things for school, so fundraising and volunteer hours. So each month I have like, they have a quota that you have to do for a whole year. I break it down by month, and then I try to meet that monthly goal and log it here to keep track of it, and then this bottom part for notes. And then in the shop, I also have this calendar as well, and here I put things like new releases, or like open subs. Here's like new releases, closed subs. So anything having to do with the shop, with releases and or the monthly subscriptions, like due dates or stuff like that, I put it here. And then down here is my design schedule. So week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I kind of spread out, like for the subscription, I spread out when I'm gonna design and work on different parts of the subscription. So I break it down by week, as well as the regular shop stuff. It's kind of blank because all these weeks I was working on inserts, and then you know, like samplers, First Friday freebies and stuff like that. So that's how I use this insert for the shop. And then on the back, I covered it up because here is just some private information about the monthly subscriptions that I just kind of want to keep covered. So I just put my sticky note over it. But I use it also, I don't use it as a task list. I use it for tracking like sub counts and stuff like that. And then here's a place for notes. And then lastly, I also use this insert for content planning. So here I put mainly like on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays is when I like to put out content. That is the goal. Mondays is blogging, which is micro blogging on Instagram with Sam & Co. So, you know, it's not the typical like traditional blog, but it's just something I want to share some thoughts about the hustle or creativity or inspiration or something like that. So I just kind of put it here that it's a blog, but then down here I put ideas of what different things I might write about on the blog down here each week. So that's for Mondays. Wednesdays will be videos. Sundays will also be videos. So that's my goal every Wednesday and Sunday to film a new video or to post a new video. And then Fridays is just the email out to my email list, talking about new releases first and foremost, but then also any other announcements. So I put that in content because I also want to kind of develop it a little bit to add a little bit of value, not just announcements, but maybe a little tidbit, maybe like a tip or something like that, something of value to you guys. So I put that under content. And then the back, I was just debating of what to use this side for, and I think I'm going to use it for polls. So every time I do a poll, I'm going to like log the results here, because sometimes I do a poll, it gets lost, I forget, and then, you know, or sometimes I have to keep going back to look in my Instagram archives. It'll be easier if I can just log it all here. And then again, this section is for notes. So when I do my monthly planning, that's all the steps that I do. Let me see if I covered everything. So if I go back here, I showed you guys my personal calendar, which is this. Oops. So here so the monthly task, it says personal calendar. That's what this is. And then it says health calendar. Actually, I stopped doing the health calendar because it was unneeded. So now I just do the school calendar, which is this. I do personal projects, and I'll talk about that next time, maybe when I go into the note sections. But I just have blank paper back here, like for my husband's birthday. This is the personal projects here, where I just kind of like scribble out ideas and brainstorming. And then these are miscellaneous projects that I do each month. Go over finances with my husband and then back up my devices and stuff. And then here, the shop calendar is here. I also try to designate a day that I'm gonna do VIP discounts for those on my email list. I didn't put it in here because it's always like a surprise, like a flash discount sale kind of thing. A collab, I usually mark it in here if I'm having a collab in this particular month. And then any business projects would go here in the blank pages here, the note pages. And then content calendar is this one. I want to start trying to interview or talk to other creatives and business owners and stuff like that to share that with you guys. So that's what that is for. So if I have any interview scheduled, I would mark it here. And then lastly, reports for the shop is just a miscellaneous task to do each month. And so yeah, I already showed you all of that. That's what I do every single month. And then these weekly breakdowns are here. So I'll show you an example. So for like week 1, open subs, kits and First Friday, working on First Friday freebies, working on any special kits if there is some. Cards, it kind of got moved down here, but sub cards, doing a planner flip, that's in the content section, doing a plan with me for the month. That's actually what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I take these and sometimes they have to get moved around. Sometimes I have to be, you know, flexible and fluid with everything. But all of these things here are what you see in here. I took everything here and planned it out here in the planner. And even these things, well, this one I'm still working on, the shop calendar, like what I'm gonna do each month as far as releases, but like even these things, anything that's here is transferred into here. So yeah, that's how I plan my month. I think that's everything. I think I covered everything that I do. Leave any questions in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Like I said, if you have any comments, please do leave them down below and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.